What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 45 now of the My Player Career Mode. If you remember back to last episode, we picked up the injury, which means we will be out for the first few games of this episode. But regardless, guys, you're still going to see 4 games worth of actual gameplay in today's episode to make up for the fact that we are, in fact, missing a few games in this one. So you can see we're taking on Celtic in the Champions League for the first game of this episode, and it's simmed because, of course, we're not able to play it due to the fact of us being injured. We went on to win the game by 4-0. Eriksen scoring a hat-trick in that one, so very nice to see from him. And as I say, unfortunately, we are injured, and it's been quite a recurring theme when we played this series before. I mean, you can see, you know, in the past, we picked up injuries when we were at different clubs here and there. We did it last year at Valencia. We did it towards the back end of the season. If you remember, we missed the last game of the actual La Liga season and did not get to see us lifting the trophy, which we helped win, and we went on to score the most goals in the competition. So I'm hoping that we are not injury prone, because if we are, we're going to miss a lot of the season in terms of different sort of teams here. So hopefully we don't get injured long term again like we did, but only time will tell if that's a possibility. We've got 4 games, as I mentioned, in this episode. I think we've got 2 Champions League games and then 2 league appearances. If you remember as well, we're absolutely flying in the Champions League in terms of our personal performance. We're doing exceptionally well in it at the moment and as a team. But right now in the league, we're lacking. You can see we've got a game here against, I do believe, Mönchengladbach. Leverkusen at the top of the table by around 4 points. So right now we do need to pick up as many points as we possibly can. And we have to start here against Mönchengladbach, because if we don't, we are dropping points in every single game pretty much that we don't win. And you've got to take into consideration, yes, it will be okay to drop points that we don't win, but if Leverkusen keep winning the way they do and keep picking up points the way they do, they're just going to keep going further and further ahead. So after 10 games, they've only dropped 5 points. After 10 games, we've dropped 9, I think. I think we're sat on 21 points at the moment. So in terms of that one, to drop 9 points from the first 10 games, basically lose 3 of the first 10 effectively, when you look at it that way, that's not very good from a team of Bayern Munich standard, especially when you look at the quality we've got on the pitch here. But this one against Mönchengladbach, guys, started off brilliantly for us. 30 minutes in, I was involved in a little bit of a build-up. It wasn't really too much of my my own personal sort of, I guess, assist here. Nice pass inside, and then this is just a world-class finish from Vidal. How many times has he scored from long-range strikes before in the series? He's incredible when it comes to just firing the ball into the back of the net from all sorts of angles. Like on the edge of the area, he's clinical. Inside the area, he's clinical, and that is why he's in a lot of PlayStation teams as well, guys. Regionals this week. If you haven't watched last week's, go back and watch it. It was, I think, for like, you know, the European side of things. So you had the PlayStation guys and the Xbox guys playing against each other, and then Vidal featured a hell of a lot in the PlayStation side of things. I think this weekend coming up is actually the rest of the world, so it's you know, it's going to be interesting actually to see who's in that one. I will be watching it again like I was last week, and if you didn't know what they are, basically the regionals are just the people in FUT Champions who qualified as the top, I think, was it the top 20 or something like that? I can't quite remember the exact amount of players, but I know for sure regionals is basically like the pro players effectively after qualifying on FUT Champions. So it's good to see, actually. It was nice to watch some FIFA in an esports type of theme, so it was very good to see. If you haven't watched it, like I said, it was an entertaining game, and you should go ahead and watch it. But, guys, we managed to pick up the points in this one, winning the game by 1-0. Eriksen did have a chance earlier on to seal the points for ourselves, but he ended up hitting the outside of the post with his header. And in the 90th minute, they gave us a little bit of a scare, but the strike was never really that clean, and it went wide of the post. So we came away with 3 points from that one. If you take a look as well, Leverkusen dropped points. They lost to Hanover 2-0, so I couldn't have asked for a better way to start this episode off than 3 points for us, and them dropping points as well. And I can confirm, guys, we do in fact have the other league game coming up against Leverkusen. So that should be a very entertaining game for you guys to watch. A possible 6-pointer already in the season. And if you don't know what I mean by a 6-pointer, guys, effectively what I'm saying is, if we win the game, we get 3 points. But because they are near us in the table, if they lose the game, they're also dropping 3 points, which effectively earns us 6 points. Because if you think about it that way, if they're our rivals, they haven't then got the 3 points from that one. They've also dropped 3 points, whereas we've gained it and not dropped it. So effectively, when I say it's a 6-pointer, because I've had a couple of people sort of thinking, what the hell's a 6-pointer before? And I've said it in previous sort of series, is back in the Road to Glory one and the normal career mode. That's all it means, basically. If you're taking on a rival that's near you in the league, then effectively if you win the game and they lose it, not only have they dropped points, but they've dropped points to somebody that they're challenging for the title, effectively. So not only have they dropped points, they've also lost of ground on the other team who are basically above them. So that's what I mean by it. It's just more of an important game, really. You have to win those games when it comes to the 6-pointers. But you can see we're taking on Copenhagen here for the Champions League. I wasn't actually picked for this one. I don't quite understand why. Unless it's down to fitness reasons, because of course coming back from the injury, the boss probably doesn't want to stretch us too much and risk another injury in that one. We went on to draw it 1-1 though. Renato Sanchez scoring, and I can't remember who's. I think it was Cornelius who scored for them to equalise to make the game 1-1. So I wasn't too happy about that, in all honesty. Like, I mean, I think we're qualified already at the Champions League group, so it is what it is. But then, guys, came the all-important game here against Leverkusen. So, of course, they dropped points against Hanover. We picked up 3. If we can win this one now and they lose, we do, in fact, go back to the top of the table. So this is a very important game for me personally as my own performance, but also for the team, because we need to show exactly what we're made of here at Bayern Munich. You can see that's their team on your screen. Very decent side. Is it a side that can win the league title? We'll have to wait and see come the end of the season. Personally, our team is an absolute... It's just got incredible players in every single position, so I don't understand how we're struggling as much as we are. 22 minutes in, though, guys. We had the first chance in this one. Fantastic little play here. I get a strike away, but a great save, one-handed, by the goalkeeper between the sticks. I don't know if it's Leno still between the sticks. I didn't quite catch it there just before we went into this one, but still, nonetheless, a fantastic save. 90th minute rolled around, and we had a chance to take the full 3 points from this one. Achera Vidal into Lukaku. I was unfortunately substituted during this one, so Lukaku here gets through on goal and fires his strike over the bar. So I was substituted for Lukaku. He had a chance to win the game for us and pick up the 3 points in the 90th minute. Unfortunately, though, his strike was miles over the bar, and we could only manage a 0-0 draw. Very disappointing performance from me. 5.7 is all I played to, so again, extremely frustrating from my personal point of view. I'm not playing too well for myself in the league at the moment, and that's not good to see, because when I came here at Bayern, we of course were the top scorer after the first round of games that we played in the first episode here at Bayern. We were the top scorer. Now we are no longer that, so I really do need to pick it up. Actually, I picked up an injury, and that's why I had to come off there. You can see it was only a 5-day injury, though, so it wasn't anything too bad. But we do definitely need to improve our personal performance in terms of league appearances. Champions League, we're not doing too badly for ourselves, and that's where the next game comes here. Actually, I was wrong, guys. We have 2 Champions League games, and 2... Oh, wait, no. What was the first one? I can't remember. Anyways, I know for sure we've got this game here, and we've got another Champions League game after this one. So, yeah, it is what it is. You can see that is the Bundesliga table. Oh, no, this... I'm completely telling a lie. This is the Bundesliga. What am I talking about? It's Dortmund. I have no idea what just happened. I had like an absolute brain fart. But anyways, guys, we are playing Bundesliga here. The next game to come is the Champions League. I apologise. It's still, you know, this has been an entertaining episode in terms of this one. We've had 3 league games. Yep, 3 League Ones and 1 Champions League that we've actually played in. 3 Champions Leagues if you include the Sims as well. The first of which picked up the 3 points of Mönchengladbach. We drew 0-0 with Leverkusen, and we take on Dortmund here. So in a potential episode of what could have been 3 of the toughest games we're going to have in the league, we've picked up 4 out of 6 points. If we can get a victory here at Dortmund, or against Dortmund at home, then that means that we will have a very good episode in terms of league appearances. I was picked for this one again. 36 minutes on the clock. We ended up having our first chance in this one. I went down straight down the right-hand side here, get inside my man. I managed to cut it back and take the strike on. And this, how many times have I done this, curled it goalwards, and it come back off the post? You'll see as well, I show you an instant replay, because this skill move I do, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have no idea how I did it. I flicked the little sort of thing on the Xbox, the analog, literally any way possible, and it did this absolutely insane skill move. And I would have loved for this to end up in the back of the net, because this would have been an absolutely crazy, crazy goal. You can see I'm going to show you in more detail here. It was this skill move. I don't know what I did, and it just ended up working perfectly. Look at this. Goes through his legs and then round the defender. Says, thank you very much. See you later, son. You got absolutely mugged off. Look at this again. Bang. Mugged him off. And then I go round him, and I'm thinking, you know what? Finish this off. Make it perfect. Nah. The post had to say otherwise about this. The keeper was getting nowhere near it. Outside of the post. Boom. My dreams were shattered. Almost the goal of the series. Not quite, though, due to the fact of the post getting in the way. But 15 minutes into the game, eventually we did find the first chance for ourselves, really, and in the second half. And I managed to take the strike on, and I was so close to finding that bottom corner. I was gutted because I genuinely thought I'd found it there. I was already celebrating, but unfortunately it wasn't to be, and it went wide of the post from. But then, guys, we did actually find the breakthrough. It took 68 minutes on the clock. Dortmund cheap in possession, gave the ball away. I found myself in good space here, gave it off to the right-hand side. We were eventually on all-out attack at this point. The ball comes into Renato Sanchez, and he finishes it off perfectly. I was sort of waiting behind him there in case he didn't get to the ball ahead of the keeper. I was waiting to tap it in myself. Renato Sanchez gets there, though, and takes the lead for us. So already in this game, we were on top and in control. And, you know, when we have good games like this, it's always nice to play in. But, again, our personal own performance, I haven't scored in a while. My goal drought continues in the league, and I can't quite find it yet. But I scored in the Champions League last episode, of course, so decent there. I just need to really improve my league form. And then this happened. Braithwaite came off the bench for Dortmund, 80 minutes on the clock, and equalised the game at 1-1. Dortmund's first chance in the entirety of the match, and they took it perfectly. Fantastic strike from Braithwaite, and all you can say is credit to him, because he came off the bench, showed what he was made of, and drew the game up at 1-1. And into the 90th minute, I have no idea why this was an over-the-top through ball. I asked for it played. It should have come across the floor. Would have had a much better chance there. Tried to take it on, and I completely messed the strike up, and I was frustrated with myself, as you can see, both in-game and in real life, because that was so annoying, because I wanted it played along the floor. If it had come along the floor, there was a possibility I could have got it under control a lot easier, taking the strike on. But unfortunately, it came in the air. It took me so long to get it out of the air, and then eventually the strike was miles over the bar. So a point there from that one. I will say it's 2 points dropped because we were on top for the majority of that game. We deserved the 3. Dortmund, though, probably didn't deserve to lose, but again, the question is, did we deserve the 3 more than they deserved the 1? That's sort of what I'm thinking in my mind. But so far then, 5 points from a possible 9. Not too brilliant, is it, in terms of our league points? The only good side is, as I say, Leverkusen did drop points in the first game of today's episode, so that's not too bad to see either. You can see doing a bit of training before we headed into the 4th and final game of today's episode, which was, in fact, in the Champions League, a league in which we're doing pretty well for myself in terms of our own performances, which I can't really say is good, because at the end of the day, if we don't go all the way to winning the Champions League, my goals will mean nothing effectively. So unless we win the Champions League, all these goals I'm scoring in the Champions League, it means nothing to me. Literally nothing, because unless we win it, they will come to absolutely squat. And you can see we're top of the table. So when we came into this one against Roma, I played it because I thought to myself, you know what? They are only 3 points behind. There is that chance that we can possibly go down into second place. But we came into it here, and again, I felt confident because Champions League football is where I seem to be able to play right now. And you can see the team is pretty much unchanged, and it's still the strongest lineup. So the boss, of course, taking this game very seriously, wanting to top the group, and of course, have a theoretically easier draw in the next round. Because, of course, if you win the group, you end up getting to play the second place out of another group. But it doesn't always work the way you want it to, because, of course, we've seen in real life, Arsenal won their group, and they're taking on Bayern for what seems like the 8th season in a row, or something crazy like that. It seems to always get Bayern, Barcelona, or something like that. You know, it's absolutely stupid. But you can see in this one, 47 minutes on the clock, we got ourselves off into a decent second half start here, and I managed to turn the defender, take the strike on, it came off the post. Again, Champions League performances, I'm completely fine with them. I seem to do very well in the Champions League, unless it's because I have no pressure in terms of, like, I know for a fact that as long as we win it, and it doesn't matter if I score, whereas in the league I feel more sort of complied to have to score. I don't really know why that is. I just suppose it's because I like scoring league goals, and I prefer to see, you know, sort of goals to game ratio in the league being really high, whereas the Champions League, as I say, unless we go all the way to the end, I completely am not bothered about how many goals you score in a Champions League. It just doesn't make sense. But this one, guys, I have no words for what on earth that was. When he went in, I was going mental. So if this was live, right, you would have heard my reaction, and I would have honestly broke your eardrums. I had no idea. Like, it came out of nowhere. It does go down as an own goal, so I don't quite understand how the ball has done what it's done if it's down as an own goal. But that was an incredible strike. And although Renato Sanchez can't claim it, I'm sure he will be trying to do, as Rudiger gets credited with the own goal from that one. And straight from kickoff, it just got even worse. It got absolutely worse for Roma here. They gave away the ball cheaply. Misery compiler incoming here. Get through the middle. I managed to just hold off the defender just enough there to get past him and slide that one past the goalkeeper. So with 5 minutes left to play in this one, we were 3-0 up. We were cruising. And again, my personal Champions League form performances are absolutely astonishing. But the league is where I need to pick it up. And the team in general is just the league where we need to pick it up. Because I honestly thought we were going to walk this league. And it's not the right mindset to have. But when you come to a team like Bayern, who in all honesty have the money that they do, have the quality on the pitch that they do. Yes, Dortmund come close. You know, there's a lot of Bundesliga teams that are very good and could easily beat Bayern on their day. But you've obviously seen how dominant Bayern can be. So I kind of came into this with the thought process that we were going to walk this league, and that's the wrong way to think about it. But hopefully, guys, you've enjoyed this episode. If you have done, I'd appreciate it if you could hit that like rating. As always, guys, thank you all for your continued support. If we could hit 50 likes on today's episode, that would be greatly appreciated. As always, guys, thank you all so much for watching the video. It means the world to me for every single like, subscription, and comment that you guys give me. So I'll catch you all with another video very soon. Adios.